Napoli fans around the world, welcome to Napoli Talk. Big game tomorrow against Sampdoria. We'll get into that later, but the interesting news today is that Napoli went and got on loan Sampdoria's captain and their right back, Bereszynski, Polish international, over 50 appearances for Poland, over 180 for Sampdoria, a really experienced player. So the question is, why did Napoli do this? So let's think back to last year. Napoli have gone the whole of 2022 and the second half of last year undefeated except for one game against Milan, and Di Lorenzo has played every single game, if not minute, of that 2022 year. Then, crucially, towards the end of the season, with a few games remaining, Di Lorenzo gets injured and in comes young right back Zanoli. And Zanoli first has a tremendous game against Atalanta, incredible performance, and then the next games against Fiorentina, against Roma, against Empoli, not so good. And in fact, he gets booked twice. A few of those goals, I reckon, are down to him. I don't think Zanoli marked El Shaarawy very well for the Roma goal. I don't think he marked Cabral very well for the Fiorentina goal. And against Empoli, he got an early yellow card in the second half, and that caused Spalletti to sub him out for Malquit, and Malquit was then responsible for one of Empoli's goals. So I'm not trying to say that we lost the title because of Zanoli, because actually the whole team didn't play so well. We, I think, lost the title because Di Lorenzo wasn't there, or someone like Di Lorenzo wasn't there, and maybe someone of his experience and his personality and composure wasn't there. And Bereszynski, being so experienced, being Sampdoria's captain, is that type of reliable player that in case Di Lorenzo goes missing, then we can rely on someone with that same sort of quality that Di Lorenzo has. And it's crazy to think just how similar these two players are. For being defenders, Di Lorenzo got booked twice and Bereszynski just once, which shows extreme discipline, extreme composure and concentration, and also very good tackling capabilities. And when we look at their player rating, they seem to perform quite well. They don't stand out necessarily every game or most games. They're not the type of players that give you an assist or give you a goal. In fact, Bereszynski has basically only scored once for Sampdoria in the past few years. But they are the type of player that puts in a solid performance. And that's pretty much all we're asking for a Di Lorenzo substitute. Not to solve us any games, not to come and be a hero, but just to make sure that if Di Lorenzo goes missing, he'll put on a nice, decent, solid, reliable performance. And if we take a look at the defensive stats in particular in more detail, again, it's scary to see just how similar these two players are. If we go column by column, we can see that tackles per game, Bereszynski 1.8 versus Di Lorenzo 1.5. So Bereszynski is slightly better, but that could be because obviously Sampdoria tend to defend more than Napoli. If we take a look at interceptions, Bereszynski again slightly above Di Lorenzo, perhaps for that same reason. Fouls per game, that's very important. Just one foul per game for both Di Lorenzo and Bereszynski. That's key. You don't want a player that comes in and starts giving away reckless fouls. And finally, when we take a look at clearances, dribbles, and blocks, they are pretty much identical. And that means that we are getting almost a carbon copy of Di Lorenzo to go and sit on the bench. Not only that, but a player that is a captain of a team like Sampdoria, it's a very important club, can come into this dressing room and give much needed experience to some of the younger players. So does this mean that we take Bereszynski on this loan with an option to buy for 1.8 million and we say goodbye forever to Zanoli? No, Zanoli goes to Sampdoria on loan. It's time for him to get some minutes of Serie A football under his belt and to prove to Napoli that he can withstand the pressure of a Serie A game, that he can go through several games without committing any errors. And if he is able to do that, I am sure that Napoli will welcome him back next season. Right, guys. So now looking into this Sampdoria game that we have tomorrow on Sunday, it's going to be tough. Sampdoria are third to last, but they have 2 wins, and one of those 2 wins came on Wednesday. So they are a team that maybe is in form after the break. Not only that, but Gianluca Vialli passed away a few days ago. And obviously that's a very sad piece of news. He was a legend of the game, a gentleman off the field. And I wonder how the Sampdoria fans and players are going to use that as positive energy for their performance. And maybe that's one of the factors to consider in terms of the difficulty level going up. I mean, those Sampdoria fans and players would have lost their captain, or let's say vice captain, because Quagliarella technically is still playing. They would have lost their vice captain and one of their legends in a short span of time. So they'll want to win that game. They'll want to do it for Vialli, and some of the younger players and other squad members in the team will want to show that they can step it up once one of their captains has left the team. So guys, that's a review of Sampdoria Napoli. It's going to be a tough game. If you liked the video and you want Napoli to win, then smash the like button and subscribe, and put down in the comments what you think of this transfer and the game coming up. And as always, Forza Napoli sempre. Ciao.